Well, we've got one heck of a system bringing rain, snow, wind, everything across the west. That's going to bring some severe weather too here across parts of the Rockies, even the Front Range, and then out into the plains heading into Tuesday. And we are looking at what's left over of our tropical system here across the Carolinas. Let's start here first because we've got this rain going. Some of that rain causing some flooding concerns into parts of North Carolina. The heavier axis of rain looks like it's going to push into the mountains tonight. That would be Monday night into Tuesday morning, especially here along the upslope areas of the Blue Ridge Mountains, say from Martinsville west back towards Blacksburg, and then down a little bit further to the southwest, places like Boone, down toward Blowing Rock, even I would argue Hickory. You've kind of got that upslope component here as everything circulates around this area of low pressure. So rain bands could get intense on those upslope areas, so locally heavy rain possible. How far will the rain go west? Well, unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's going to get very far to the west. I don't know how far into Ohio it gets. Some of these areas are really dry and we could use some rain. Also into Tennessee and really in many areas. Taking a look at the precipitation a little bit further, most of that tropical moisture kind of really settling down as we head into Wednesday. Now let's look across the west. We're also going to look across the east too. We've got this trough here and this upper low spinning and then the ridge across the east. There's your tropical system here. There's your cold pool of air across the west. That's going to be the weather maker for the next 24 hours or so. That'll bring that severe weather out ahead of it on Tuesday, also maybe even into Wednesday, but some really cold air here across the west. It's bringing some snow into parts of the Sierra, even into the mountains of Wyoming. And some of that snow could be a little heavy, but you got to get pretty high up to see it, though. The big threat, though, I think for Tuesday will be the severe weather here for parts of Montana, down into parts of North and South Dakota, even Nebraska, and also northern Colorado down into Kansas. And some of these storms, even further south, could get a little strong, too. Let's take a quick look at these storms, how they'll likely evolve heading into Tuesday afternoon and evening. Back here's your upper low spinning. Some snow here into the high country of Wyoming. Some of that snow could come down heavy at times into some of the mountains. And then look at your squall line really developing out ahead of our front and our system as we head into Tuesday afternoon and Tuesday evening. This could be an intense line of thunderstorms with some damaging winds possible, some hail. And then look at that. Still snowing back here into the mountains of Wyoming. You know, once you get up into Montana, you kind of get away from that cold core of air aloft, so you sort of lose that cooling dynamics of the atmosphere. So anyway, we're still cold enough that we're talking that snow is in the vicinity, so much cooler weather here too. And that here's a look at the west. Here's our next system that will be diving in sometime Tuesday night into Wednesday, bringing more rain and maybe even some more snow showers into the higher elevations. And you can see the snow accumulation showing up here on the model data from the Sierra, all the way into parts of the Rockies, over into the Wasatch, and then we've talked about the heavier snow into the mountains of Wyoming, up into parts of Montana. Some of the highest elevations could see a foot or so. Pretty interesting to see that over the next couple of weeks, and also into the Canadian Rockies too, with more storms, another storm moving in rather, with some cold air aloft. All right, let's take a look at what's going on through the week. We're going to time things out for you. Here's that disturbed weather across the east with the showers. There's that potent low moving into Montana, also eventually into South Dakota. To the south of that, we'll keep the showers and storms going here. They won't be as strong, it looks like, on Wednesday. And then that system starts to lift north into Canada. Here comes your second system now plowing into the west coast with more rain and snow for the Sierra, it looks like, maybe even into the Central Valley and then into parts of the interior west. A lot of that starts to weaken. And then I want to turn your attention back here to the northwest and then into parts of western Canada. This is going to be some really chilly air that starts to work in as we head toward the end of the week, and that could likely bring that's going to likely bring some snow for the or for the Canadian Rockies rather, not the Colorado Rockies. All right, yeah, it's Monday. So yeah, one round of snow here, maybe even another round as we head into the weekend, and then as this system moves east, it may bring some much needed rain for some areas that haven't seen rain in quite some time. So the weather pattern is starting to change up a little bit. September is a very dry month for many areas, and this is looking way down the road. Now we're into Monday of next week. Look at that cold air back here and still that disturbed weather here across the Canadian Rockies from British Columbia over into Alberta. Higher mountains, definitely seeing some snow here. It's that time of year, right? I mean, we're at the end of September, so it's happening. And then really just kind of pushing things ahead. The GFS usually over amplifies things, but I think it's interesting to kind of take a look at what the pattern is looking like on the models. Still keeping that ridge here across the central United States. Does that happen? I don't know, but the trend has been to stay cold, unsettled, maybe some rain and snow across the Pacific Northwest into parts of Western Canada, and then you're ridging here across the central and eastern United States. That could also set the stage for maybe some more tropical development to be determined, especially under this ridge. You get that ridge going, you get the wind shear backing off in this area, tropical systems have to be watched. All right, that's all I got for now, guys. If you're wondering about winter, the winter forecast is out. I did make that video. If you'd like to check it out, it is right here. I'll see you there.